Okay.
Here,
Yeah, I'll get you the lighter.
but first I have to light them.
Yep, we'll give you the, can you do that one? That one gives people trouble for some reason. However, you got this one. It might work. This one might work better.
Oh, thank you.
It might, I don't know.
Okay.
You almost had it.
Uh-huh.
I'll hold it,
Okay.
Let me just grab my hand.
We're a team.
Yes, we are.
Thank
Don't
you.
tell Mark, he'll get angry.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishitanu b'mitzvotav b'tzatzavan
Vitzivanu.
b'vitzvanu l'chachali
There.
ner shel Shabbat.
Man, well done.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
Shabbos.
Shabbos. All right, we are live here in Huntington. It is a beautiful Friday night. The weather has finally become more human. Although I'm waiting for the people to start complaining that it's getting too chilly. But I'm sure it'll happen. But it was a beautiful week here, and it is Shabbat, which makes it even better. Let's continue on page 9 with the responsive reading. Page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire or to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is of beauty and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Let's continue with Lecha Dodi. And tonight, let's just do the first two and the last two. First two and the last two, 1 and 2, 8 and 9, page 20. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Hishme'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'li tila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor ha'bracha, Merosh mikedem nehesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshava techila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, V'et Adonai taharitzi, Al yadish ben partzi, B'ni smecha v'nagila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'sohola, Tochem hunei am segula, Boi chala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Page 22, some verses from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. Let's read the outdented paragraph together. A psalm for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout with joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai! How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Sadikat tamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yiskeh shetulim bebeit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yahafrichu. O Jenuv Beseva Deshenim Vera'ananim Ihiyu Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avlatabo. Page 24, we welcome the angels who, according to the rabbis, come to spend Shabbat with us. 2 angels, and we greet them with the traditional Hebrew greeting, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have completed welcoming the Shabbat. The Shabbat bride is with us. We'll turn to page 146, begin the evening service proper. Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. May be seated. Let's read together the paragraphs on 147. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish. But your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'arihim, Ha'ravim. 148, let's read responsibly in English. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world.
In each day, we shall inspire changing by, in each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become distillers and seek to set the world from our foundations of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. 151, let's read responsibly in English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as a perfection and evil abound.
Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. We saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's presence redeems bound revenge. So we celebrate His power that makes for freedom.
Page 152 at the top. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nohora tehilot, nohosefele. Let's continue reading responsibly in the English. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders?
Your children witness your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cry, Adonai, forever and ever.
Let's read together. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of 153, top two lines of Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Let's read together in English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, aporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית העולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, Vishamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat L'dorotam B'rit Olam Ki Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai et HaShamayim V'et ha'aretz V'shamru B'nei Yisrael HaShabbat La'asot L'dorotam B'rit Olam Uvayom Hashvi'i Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Vishamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat L'dorotam B'rit Olam. Please rise, page 155 and following, the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agiti latecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agiti latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi L'Elifei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atagibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayim etim atarav lehoshia, Morid hatahal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayim etim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emunato lishenei afar micha mocha b'giborot umidom melach melech melith umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah l'chayot metim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh ha-metim. Turn to page 160. Let's read together in the middle of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. 163, a little bit of hoda'ah, a little bit of thanksgiving. Top of 163, let's read responsively. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
And we'll close out on page 164, as always, with a prayer for peace. And in the evening, it is Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, Lechol ha-shalom, ki atahu melech Adon, Lechol ha-shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. Page 253, we'll continue with the Mishaberach, the prayer for one of our many prayers for healing. Middle of 253. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258 and 259, prayer 59, prayers of our community. And Chad, how about the prayer for our congregation?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, shobtecha levatcha b'yira na'avod. Ed Light, how about the prayer for our country?
Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness.
Thank you. Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Habayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Ed, you want to try the prayer for Israel?
Avinu Shabbat Sur Yisrael Regalo, Orech et Neis Yisrael, Rishis Mikas Gula Seno, Orgain Alecha Babras Kastecha, Uperos Alecha Shukat Shlomecha, Uperos
Shalom.
Orachova Mitacha Larash Sheha, Shirai Yoatseha, Masakneim Veitsato Bona Fanecha, Natato Lanu Shal Oretz, Ushmachad Olami Yesheva, the Nomar Amen.
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 Who's back there? Which one is that? Is that Aubrey? Could you read it in English, please? The prayer for Israel?
O Heavenly One, Protector and
Redeemer.
Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield beneath the wings of your love. Spread over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen.
Amen.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, friends. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. This week's Parsha is Be'et Hanan, and it continues Moshe's final speeches to Bnei Yisrael. And this week it opens up with, and Be'et Hanan actually means, and I pled or I beseeched. So he pleads with God to let him enter the land. This is Moshe. And he's denied. God says no. And the Midrash tells us that Moses asked 515 times. 515 times, and he received 515 no's before he stopped. And the Midrash, as always, kind of snarky, says, but if Moshe had asked one more time, 516 times, God would have let him into the promised land. He reminds the people that they are not to fall into idolatry. Anytime they would put something before their service to God, that would be considered idolatry, and that they should observe all the mitzvot. He recalls the awesome experience at Mount Horeb, and where they had received the Aseret Hadibrot, the 10 utterances. Now you remember that he's reminding them because this group standing in front of him, with the exception of probably Moshe, nobody was there at that time. This is that new generation that came, was born after all of this had happened. Moshe reminds them that Bnei Israel of their unique relationship with God, and he sets aside 3 cities of refuge. Betzer, Ramot, and Golan. Right, and these are cities that someone who commits unintentional manslaughter, they can run to and be safe from any kind of retribution. And then he continues with the discussion of the Brit, of the covenant that God established with us at Mount Horeb, also known as Mount Sinai. And he recites the Aseret HaDibrot. He gives them the 10 Commandments, as they're often mistranslated. It's really the 10 statements, but there's really, I think, 15 statements in them. So, who says we know how to count? And it's a different version than the version that we got in the book of Exodus at Parshat Yitro, where we get the Aseret HaDibrot. And so I always wonder, these people who want to include the 10 Commandments in schools or in public places, which version of the 10 Commandments are they going to include? Because there's 2 in the Torah. And before you say, oh, Rabbi, there's no difference, there's a big difference. In the one that's given in the book of Exodus, the children of Israel are told to Zachor et Yom HaShabbat, to remember the day of Shabbat, because they were slaves and they were just coming out of slavery, and God just wanted them to know that every 7th day you take a break. And that would be tough for slaves to get their minds around. So originally God just wanted them to remember that the 7th day is special. This time in Parshat V'etchanan, it is Shamor et Yom HaShabbat, guard or protect, because now we have laws. It's no longer enough to remember that it's the 7th day. Anybody can remember, oh yeah, today is the Sabbath, I got to go get my hair done, or I got to go to the store, or I got to go out to eat. Instead of just, that's easily to remember, but it's a little bit more to shamor, to guard and to protect it. And Moshe recalls how those Jews were frightened at the time, and they asked him to receive the Torah on their behalf. They were very frightened, and they took a step back when God began to speak, and they kind of, pushed Moshe forward. Right after this, we get the Shema. And it's, for lack of a better word, it's a creed of sorts, right? It's supposed to be the last thing we say before we die. But what it is really, it's a statement of our identity, right? Hear, O Israel, okay, that's us. Pay attention. The Lord, our God, not anybody else's God, but this is our God. The Lord, our God, the Lord is, and they translate it often as one, echad. But, if God is one, then why does God say, don't have any false gods before me? If that means God's the only God, what's going on out there? And I want to be a little bit more creative in my translation, that our God is unique. Our God is unique as to whatever other gods might be out there. Our God is unique because God has a relationship with us and not the other people. God gave us, the Jews, Bnei Yisrael, the Torah, and the mitzvot. And so that makes God's relationship with us unique. I almost said very unique, but that would be really dumb, because if something is unique, it's already very. All right? Very unique doesn't make sense. And so God is unique. God is echad. And then it's interesting because he winds up this week's parsha with talking about when they enter the land, that they're going to have to dislodge the inhabitants. There are people living in the land of Canaan, and if they want to go in there, they're going to have to dislodge them. And he says, when you're dislodging these people, don't marry them. There'll be no intermarriages. It would be dangerous. And he ends with the idea that we are an Am Segula, that we are a treasured people. Part of what makes God unique is that God has taken us and made us an Am Segula, a treasured people, and we are to remember that. There are 12 mitzvot in this week's parsha, 8 ta'aseh, 8 do's, and 4 don'ts for a total of 12. And that is our Torah portion in a nutshell. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. All right. Time for Kiddush. Time for Kiddush. I miss Mari here to remind me that we need Kiddush for Friday night, Erev Shabbos. Vayehi erev vahi boker yom hashishi vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivaham vaychal Elohim vayom hashvihi melachto asher asa vayishbot vayom hashvihi mikol melachto asher asa vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvihi vayikadesh oto Kivo Shabbat Mikol Melachto Asher Barga Elohim La'asot Savri Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Borei Pri Hagafen Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Kiddushanu Mitzvotav V'Ratzav Banu B'Shabbat Kodsho B'Ahava Uvratzon Inchilanu Zikaron L'Maaseh V'Reishit Ki Hu Yom Techila L'Mikrahei Kodesh Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim Ki Vanu V'Acharta V'Otanu Kidashta Mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Kadesh. We'll start closing out our service, page 282, Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei kedula liotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahen, V'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshe b'karo b'shamayim imal Ushrinatu zo, begov hei meromi, hu Eloheinu eino, emet malkeinu efesu lato, kakatu v'torato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota, elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, Vashamayim nimal v'al haaretz mitachat eino. Katu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam ha'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad. Be seated. This week we observed the following yahrzeits. Marie Woodruff Pitt, Ed's sister, Edith Poland, Joan Weisberg's maternal aunt, Bertha Miriam Poland, Lake Sr.'s wife. They had 6 children, including Lake Jr. and Josie. Jetta Rose Bro, Henrietta Bro, wife of Adolph Bro. Philip Miller, B. Geringer's father. Ruby Holbert, Sharon Pressman's mother. Albert Poland, Sidney's father. Joseph Stern, Rena's father-in-law, Coleman's father. Harry Klein, Mitch Klein's grandfather. Margaret Island Cohn Kaplan, Ed Island's sister. Anna Kagan, Harold's mother. Alan Mallinger, father of Marilyn Poland's son-in-law. Samuel Pastor, Ethel Levine's brother-in-law. Morris Klausner, friend or relative of Paul Mayer. Randall Miller, Randy's father. Isabel Spindell, Donna's mother. Joseph R. Hamill, Gladys's husband, Dennis's father. Fran Leslie Jurin, Nathan Jurin's aunt, great granddaughter of Nathan and B. Jurin. Rose Feldman, friend or relative of Harry Fallon. Morris Rose, relative of Elaine Skoll. Esther Rose Cohen, relative of Nancy Cohen Tarbis. Mary K. Miller, Charlotte's mother. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they all rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me Rabbah, v'alma v'yirach hirutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman karvi v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam olamei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kucha brichu. Le'lam yinkol b'yachata b'shivata. Tushbachata b'nechamata. Da'amiram ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shloma rabba min shmaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. You may be seated. Shabbat shalom and good Shabbos. Just a couple of quick announcements. Services tomorrow at 10 o'clock. But if you want to get a head start on the Parsha, we have a Torah study at 9:15. And we are going to focus this week on the Shema in the first paragraph of the Shema. And we're going to look at Rashi's commentary. So if you really want to get an understanding of the Ahavta, this is your place this Shabbat morning. The services are at 10. Sunday morning at 9 for services. And then Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have our advanced-ish Hebrew. And then at 2 o'clock, we have our Siddur class. We are working our way through the Shema and its blessings. And so if you're interested in the Shema and its blessings, you'll learn a lot. And that's it on the class end. But Mark, there's a meeting.
Monday night, board meeting, 6 o'clock here in the conference room. And there's a special event going on Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock, over in Ashland. That's a little city across the river over there, at Broadway Books in the Mill Restaurant on Carter Avenue. There's going to be a young man who's been in Israel working with the foundation over there, who's going to be doing a presentation on the Holocaust. It's open to the public. It's a private event, but it's free. It's at a place, the Mill Restaurant. They will serve a limited dinner at your expense if you want to go there and eat, but there's no charge to come for that. So that's 6 o'clock Wednesday. So memories of the Holocaust. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And then we're back next Friday. Around 7 weeks until the high holidays. This Shabbat is Shabbat Nachamu. It's the Shabbat after Tisha B'Av. And there are 7 Haftarot of consolation leading us up to the high holidays. A sad note, and I think it was, let's see, I was 12, 36 years ago, 46 years ago, Thurman Munson, the great Yankees catcher, died in a plane crash near Canton, Ohio. He was flying back to be with his family after a series in New York. He was flying back and his plane crashed. Broke my heart. I remember that day. And Thurman Munson, like all good people, grew up speaking German and spoke German with his family at home, much like Lou Gehrig and yours truly. And so, you know, if you got it, do it. But yeah, that was a great loss. And we're trying to get him in the Hall of Fame. We're trying to sneak him in under some new, not sneak him in, but he had 10 years in playing. Captain of the Yankees, Rookie of the Year, I think either 3 or 7 Golden Gloves, and 2 World Series championships. But he died well before his time. He was only in his early to mid 30s, young man. But all right, page 321, we'll close out with Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Litnasa B'chevso Kol Azai Mehelech Shemo Nikra V'Acharei Hiklot HaKol Levado Imloch Nahora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Laham Shilo Le'achbira B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra V'hu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzor Hebli B'yehitzara V'hu Nisi Humanosli Menat Kohosi B'yom Ekra B'yahado Avkid Ruchi B'yeti Shan B'yahira B'imruchi Geviyati Adonai Li V'lo Ira. Let's see if there's anybody saying hello to us via the intertubes this evening. Somebody has 15 outdated drivers. Hey. There's Heather Watts saying Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you, Heather. David Johnson, peace and joy to all in the Shabbat. Thank you, David. Same to you. And there's Donna Wilson, Shabbat Shalom. And the same to you. All right, friends, there's a bunch of things going on this weekend and into the week. So hope to see you at any or all of them. I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, a good Shabbos, and please be careful out there.